Welcome again to friends and family, and congratulations to all of our graduates. It is truly a delight to be with all of you today to celebrate the milestone of graduation and the end, finally, of another academic year. Is it just me, or does Maryland end later than any other school in the country? On such wonderful occasions, it behooves us to pause in the midst of the celebrations, to reflect a bit on what our time together has meant, what we have accomplished, why we have accomplished it, and where we go from here. My inspirational text this year is borrowed not, alas, from Judy Garland, and I'll rewrite this for next year, I promise, not from Judy Garland, but from the great American novelist and Nobel Prize winner Toni Morrison, who spoke at commencement just the other day at my graduate alma mater, Rutgers University. In her efforts to impart a bit of wisdom to the class of 2011, and yes, it is something we all feel compelled to do, whether you want us to or not, Morrison took issue with none other than Thomas Jefferson for including the pursuit of happiness in the list of inalienable rights enumerated in the Declaration of Independence. Please don't settle for happiness, she said to the graduates. It's not good enough. Of course, you deserve it, Morrison went on to explain. But if that's all you have in mind, happiness, I want to suggest to you that personal success, devoid of meaningfulness, free of a steady commitment to social justice, that's more than a barren life, it's a trivial one. Now, one of the things that I love about working with students in the LGBT Studies program is that by and large, they have already committed themselves to the pursuit of goals much larger and more substantial than mere personal success. They have committed themselves, as you've already heard in so many of the remarks that have been made today, to the pursuit of meaningfulness or of integrity or truth. The other alternatives Morrison suggests to Jefferson's emphasis on happiness. For they already understand that happiness should be a byproduct or a consequence of the pursuit of those other loftier ideals, and not the object of the pursuit itself. Our graduates may not take, our graduates may not take their certificates or minors in LGBT studies out into the world to become the next internet tycoons, but that's fine by us, though their debt-laden parents might prefer that they become internet tycoons, I realize. They'll go out, as previous alumni of the program have already done, and become lawyers, teachers, journalists, ministers, therapists, queer vegan anarchists, Joseph, bloggers, filmmakers, do-gooders, and troublemakers in a range of fields. We hope that no matter where you go and what you do, your experiences on this campus and in the LGBT Studies program have armed you with a history, with a body of knowledge about sex and gender variation that no other generation before you has had. We hope that knowledge will serve you in the pursuit of your meaningfulness and your commitment, your steady commitment to social justice for the rest of your lives. We also hope that you'll keep in touch with us. Let us know from time to time how the journey is going and whether the tools we passed along were useful. We will be pleased to see you and eager to hear your tales. Today, we celebrate 9 students graduating with the 21-credit certificate or the 15-credit minor in LGBT studies. 9 students earning a credential from one of the country's few freestanding programs in LGBT studies, and a program that celebrated its 9th year here of official existence on our campus in 2010-11. I am so proud of what we have built here at Maryland, and I am grateful to all of you for being a part of it. To JV, our assistant director, who spent his first full year working with me as the official assistant director in the program. Will Birch, who's graduating tonight, who was the student worker in our office this year. Everyone who serves on the LGBT Oversight Committee. We couldn't do it without you. Before I introduce the students, I want to pause to offer a word of thanks and farewell to someone who I imagine most of today's graduates worked with in the course of their studies, Dr. Emily Mann, and I know she's here, so there she is. Hello, Emily. Yes, please. For 5 semesters over the past 3 years, Emily, a sociologist trained here at Maryland, has taught a wonderful course for the program called LGBT Families. For very little money, very, very little money, and under often challenging circumstances, she taught a rigorous and challenging course that earned raves from students. She taught the course perfectly, opined one student in this semester's evaluations, perfectly. Dr. Mann is a fabulous teacher, offered another. The university will be hard-pressed to find someone to fill her large shoes, and I don't think they were talking about the size of her feet. Believe me, I know those shoes will be hard to fill, but we think we have found a worthy successor. Emily leaves us in the fall for a well-deserved postdoc at San Francisco State. Emily, on behalf of the LGBT Studies program and the students you serve so well, thank you, and our very best wishes for your continued success. Now, at last, the graduates. For right now, I'm just going to say their names and ask them to stand at their seats because they will all be brought forward in the next part of the program as all of the graduates are presented. So, the graduates who are earning the minor or the certificate in LGBT Studies. First, William Dandridge Birch, who's getting the certificate. Juliet Michelle Ebner, earning the certificate. Kirsten Savon Fuller, the certificate in LGBT Studies. Susan Elizabeth Hepp, who's getting the minor in LGBT. Mercedes Latrice Hightower, getting the certificate. Joseph William Parker, the minor. I love all these middle names. Rachel Aaron Simon, the certificate. Samuel Stanton Smith, certificate in LGBT Studies. And Tiffany K. Tam, the minor in LGBT Studies. Congratulations to each and all. Thank you.